My birth story.
Welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria. I am a midwife, childbirth educator, and a birth coach. On today's episode of my childbirth story, I have a guest with me that will be sharing her birth story with us and everything from pregnancy, labor, and childbirth. Welcome, LADE OWOLABI.
Thank you so much for having me.
So LADE is a content creator as well. She films about faith and Christian lifestyle. So go ahead and follow her on all her social media platforms and also on her YouTube channel. I'll leave all the description in the description box. I believe that childbirth is the birth of not just the baby, but also the mother and the father as well. When you had your baby, what are some things you feel like came naturally that you didn't think about before, but then having a child made you be more like, okay, no, I need to, yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much. As much as possible, I'm going to try to answer your questions, but the whole experience is almost, the memory is very faded. But thank God for YouTube, thank God for the work I do that helps me to document some of these things. So I have a detailed childbirth story on my channel where I talked about it. But then to answer your question, one of the things that I think I would say I remember experiencing after I had my first birth experience was just this idea that somebody is now totally dependent on me. Yes, it dawned on me differently. I knew it. But then seeing that, it dawned on me differently. Also seeing that not just in terms of finances or, having a plan, educational plan. Real life, this person depends on you or else they will die.
Wow.
So it was a different realization for me. The first time I saw her cry of pain was the time she had a diaper rash.
Aww.
And I just knew something was wrong. And that's when I knew that this thing called motherly instinct is real. My mom was there with me. And my mom was just, maybe she just wants more food or something. I'm like, no, something is wrong. That's the first time, because the kind of person that I am, I'm a very sensitive person. I like to study people's moods and all of that. How much more my own child. So I knew what every cry was for. But that was the first time I knew cry for actual pain.
Wow.
She was just like maybe 2 days or 3 days old. She had a diaper rash, and it was just like one rash, and it was in between her butt cracks. So it was at that point that I knew that this thing is not business as usual, or it's not whatever I've read or what anybody has told me. This is more, because it was almost like her cry was telling me, I need you. I can't do without you. I'm going to die if you don't take care of me.
Wow.
I know I get a bit deep when I start explaining stuff, but generally that was the whole connection. So yeah,
Wow.
it was beautiful.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. So did you feel like you were ready to have a baby?
Oh, I was ready. I was ready. I mean, I've always loved children. Growing up, like I would always, when children are playing drama games, let's play this, let's act this. I always want to act the mommy.
Aww.
I always want to be pregnant. So everything my daughter's doing now, I'm just like, I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
I always want to be the one to carry the baby, and I was never scared to carry a newborn from a young age. So I've always looked forward to my own child. So I was ready. I was ready physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. I was more than ready, and it's such a humbling experience.
Absolutely.
Oh, God.
Absolutely.
Such a humbling experience.
So what are some of the things you believed about childbirth before that now you don't anymore, now that you've actually gone through childbirth?
I think I'll blame Nollywood.
Yeah,
for creating
media.
this culture
Yes.
of, especially when it comes to labor and delivery. Because what you see is a woman shouting, ah, ah, they're helping her, They're trying to get her into the car. They're trying to get her in the hospital. No.
It's always a rush on
For me, I drove myself to hospital. Yes. And I was arguing with my mom. We stopped by the ATM. First of all, Zoe, she was overdue.
Okay.
So she didn't come at the time when she was supposed to come. I was almost like 2 weeks after my EDD. So they had said to come in for
induction.
Induction. So I was still like pretty much, I painted my nails before I left the house. I was thinking of everything I needed. You know, I even had an argument with my mom. She was complaining like I was driving too fast. Like, it was just so chill. I walked into the hospital, packed all my bags. I started having a little contractions, but it was nothing like what I'd seen in any movie at all.
Wow.
So that was my own experience. And by the time I got in, I changed myself. I laid on bed myself. I was just chilling.
Wow.
So,
wow.
But luckily for me, so when they gave me the IV for induction, and it still wasn't happening, then they were going to after they try to induce you and you're not getting induced, they're going to take out the baby surgically, right? They're going to have a CS. But right when we were making that decision, my water broke by itself.
Wow.
And then I now started natural contractions.
Wow.
So it was,
praise God.
It just worked out perfectly.
Aww.
It worked out perfectly because CS was not even in the plan.
In the plan.
But at that point, I wasn't like, oh, I'm not going to do CS. It's not my portion. I was just like, whatever needs to happen for this baby to be healthy, for myself to be healthy, let's do it. But that's how it went.
Wow. Okay. So what would you say were highlights of your pregnancy? Highlights as in things that you just wouldn't forget.
How I was able to work. I worked so hard while I was pregnant. I worked so hard. I worked into my 3rd trimester. I used to braid hair for people. So like I would be braiding hair till like midnight, 1 a.m. And my regular customers stopped calling me to braid their hair because they're like, we don't want your water breaking in our house when you're halfway. So I have to carry my hair halfway and all of that. So I had to start marketing my skill on Facebook Marketplace, on Craigslist. And I started getting new clients and I was working. I worked hard. So I think that's one of the things I wouldn't forget. Because, you know, you think about pregnancy and you just think, oh, when you're pregnant, you're supposed to just sit down somewhere and be eating and drinking. No. I worked hard. I worked really hard.
Wow, that's amazing that you had burst of energy.
I did.
During pregnancy.
At the beginning, not so much.
Okay.
But second and third trimester was just a cruise. I was just chilling.
You're blessed.
Yeah.
You were blessed. You were blessed. Okay, let me ask you this. So labor, let's come to labor. How was labor for you?
Okay, so I have high tolerance to pain, yeah. So, and I wasn't going to get an epidural, but I ended up getting one because I was just like, please, if they are giving you free ticket to first class, if you're on a flight, won't you take the free ticket to first class?
I will take it too.
How can I be staying in economy when they are saying I should come to first class? That was my whole idea. My mom was like, oh, you're a woman. You can do this. I'm like, You know why I took it was because they said, they keep coming and saying, how's your pain? How is the pain? And I'm like, okay. They said, how's your pain on 1 to 10? It's 7. How's your pain on 1 to 10? Sometimes it's 8 because it's really painful. And when the contractions come, I can't talk. I can't talk. So most times I was talking to PJ because he wasn't there. And when the contractions come, I just go, I make that kind of sound.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, so when they told me that after 7 centimeters of dilation, you can't get an epidural. Anymore. So they told me, okay, this is the last call for the epidural.
Oh, my goodness.
That was the only thing. Like, so that last call was like, I'm like, I cannot miss the trumpet to heaven. I'm like, give me the epidural. Then they started telling me how if we give you this injection, you might be paralyzed. These are the things that can happen to you.
After
my
you
mom
said
was
yes.
like, yeah. I'm like, no, give me. You know, so, but the whole process of taking the epidural was very dramatic and it was too much. I didn't expect it to be that
dramatic.
Yes, and it's really expensive. Just the injection is $1,500. At the time,
true.
You didn't know.
I didn't know.
At the time when it was just one injection, $1,500. So I'm like, see, put it. I cannot die. So when they put the epidural, it was less painful. Although she came out before it started to kick in.
Wow.
Yeah, so I felt the pain of my child coming out. Like, okay, so half of my body felt it had worked on half of my body, but then my left side, I was still feeling all the sensation, all the pain. Aww. So when I had to push, I was feeling it. And I had 3rd-degree tear
I am so
Yes,
sorry.
Madame tore me to my tissue.
I am so sorry. How big was she?
She was 9 pounds and 6 ounces.
Oh, okay.
She was a big baby.
On the big side. Did you take antenatal classes? Childbirth classes?
Yes, I did. It was my hospital made it mandatory.
Okay. How was it?
I liked it.
Would you say it was helpful?
It was very helpful. I
Okay.
wasn't really. It was very helpful because I think I got my car seat in that class. Because at the end of the class they would do like a test or something, and then because of my culture as a Nigerian, I'm like, what do you want to teach me? I don't want to go. I was very like, I don't want to. I was not the person, and also because PJ was in there, so I was just like,
other people came with
their husbands, or somebody else. But my friend came with me, and I'm really grateful for that. But before I went, I wasn't really interested. But after I did, I was so grateful. And then at the hospital, before you're discharged, they make you go for another round of classes.
Wow.
Yes, and that one was a lifesaver.
Aww.
They talked about breastfeeding. They talked about what to expect and all of that. That was where I learned that they trained me that if you don't want your child to be too sensitive to noise as a baby, let them sleep through regular natural sounds like shutting the door, flushing the toilets, so that you don't have to shush everybody while they're sleeping. And I loved that because at 2 weeks old, I went back to working, to taking her around people's houses, making hair, doing makeup, tying gele. So,
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So would you recommend antenatal childbirth classes?
Oh, please, 100%. Now I have a different mindset about it. Before I was like, what do they want to tell me that I have not watched on YouTube? But now I just want to go because I just want to see other people who would ask questions that I might not even think of.
You're right.
Yeah. And I just want to connect with people who I can reach out to when I'm experiencing something that I'm like, what is this? Is this normal?
You're right.
It's priceless, I mean.
It is. And I am so into childbirth education. And I feel like we don't have enough here in Nigeria. So if you're here in Nigeria and you need a childbirth education, a private, a group, a virtual one, let me know in the comment section. I do give childbirth education classes. Okay?
Maybe I'll be contacting you for I don't even need to call you. My personal go-to.
It's going to happen.
Hello, madam, please, what's this?
Absolutely, it's going to happen. What did you wish you had known before you went through childbirth that you knew after you went through childbirth?
I wish I'd known that, what everybody tells you really is not a necessity that it must happen to you. So the horror stories and it's fun to hear, but then your story is your story at the end of the day.
Your story is different. Yeah. Let's see. What would you do different in your next birth?
I'll try not to take an epidural.
Okay.
I want to just see. I'll try not to take an epidural.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
What advice do you have for other pregnant moms and dads out there? I mean, I say dads, they're not pregnant, but they are
pregnant dads. Yeah, we're pregnant together.
Yeah.
Okay, this advice I give people a lot when I get a chance. Speak to your baby even before they come out. Yes. So I would talk to Zoe. And when she came out, it just felt like she was somebody I knew that I went to pick up at the airport.
Aww.
Before she came, I just kept feeling like I can't wait to meet my best friend that I've been talking to. Because her dad wasn't there. So a lot of times I'll talk to her and I'll tell her this was going on. This is why daddy can't be here. But don't worry, we're going to be fine. Grandma is here. And, I would sing to her. I'll tell her she'll be amazing. So when she came out and we started having, I think that to a large extent has helped how she communicates right now as a little child, as a toddler.
Wow.
Yes. And even now, I don't take anything she says as, oh, you're just a child, please keep quiet. I listen, I give her attention, and I affirm the positive ones, the things that are not so positive. So yes, please talk to your child. They are not just baby. And even when they come out, it's not just baby talk, googa gaga. No, it's real talk. Don't say, don't repeat their baby language, because in their mind, they are trying to speak like you. So
you're right.
Speak the correct thing you want them to say. So yeah, just speak to them. Speak over them. Bless them.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lade, for sharing, for being our first guest on
My Birth Story.
So So guys, if you've enjoyed this episode today, make sure you stay tuned for the next one, and let me know if you can relate to Lade's experience in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so and give this video a thumbs up. We love you.
Bye.